My friend disappeared after playing this game. Sounds fake. Then keep listening. You think the scariest games are found on Steam? You're dead wrong. Some games aren't downloaded. They're discovered, hidden on forums, passed around in encrypted messages. Games no one admits to making, but people still play. They know your name. They mess with your mind. And when you try to quit, it's already too late. These are 3 real Reddit stories about cursed games. One player vanished, one lost his grip on reality, and one never came back the same. This isn't just horror. This is next-level nightmare fuel. I'm Disturbing Jack, and these are the true Reddit stories about cursed games you should never play. I'm not sure how to even begin this without sounding completely insane, but I have to tell someone. Maybe writing this down will help me process what happened, and maybe someone out there will know something, because my best friend Ethan vanished, and I think it's because of a game we found online. This started just over a month ago. We were college roommates living in a crappy off-campus apartment, surviving off caffeine and instant noodles. We were both obsessed with weird internet lore, ARGs, cursed videos, lost games, all that rabbit hole Reddit stuff. We'd stay up late watching creepy iceberg videos or digging through obscure forums. Then one night, Ethan messaged me from his room with nothing but a link and the words, "Bro, this is cursed as F." The link led to a plain, ancient-looking website. No branding, no menus. Just a black background with white text. Begin the trial. If you complete it, you'll see what others can't. There was only one button, download. No info about the file, no description, just seer.exe. 17 megabytes. I was skeptical, but Ethan was already clicking it before I could even reply. He laughed like it was just another dumb internet gimmick. He dared me to download it too. I didn't. Not yet. When he ran the program, the screen went black for about 10 seconds. Then white text appeared. Player 1 initiated. Do not speak. Do not leave. Do not close your eyes. We looked at each other and laughed. Typical creepypasta stuff, right? Then the game launched. The graphics were rough, grainy black and white like VHS static or a security camera feed. First-person view. A long, endless hallway with rows of numbered doors on each side. The only controls were W to move and mouse to look around. No way to open doors, no pause, no menu. Just walk. At first it was boring, then it got weird. After a few minutes, the game said, "Ethan, door 3 awaits." I froze, we both did. He hadn't entered his name anywhere, there was no setup, no login. "How the hell does it know your name?" I asked. He shrugged but looked nervous. Then the lights in our apartment flickered. We closed the game and chalked it up to coincidence. But Ethan was hooked. He said the atmosphere, the way it addressed him, it felt alive. Over the next week, he played every night, and every time the game got more personal. "She didn't love you, but we do. We've been waiting, Ethan. You are the key, don't stop." The audio started to change too, faint whispers, voices echoing through the hallway. He began having dreams about it. Every night, the same corridor. He told me he could feel the doors watching him. By week 2, he was barely sleeping. Pale, twitchy, muttering to himself. He kept saying he was close, that the game was showing him things. I begged him to delete it. He refused. Said it was too late for that it wasn't just a game anymore. Then came the first blackout. We were watching a movie when everything shut off. Lights, internet, even phones lost signal. 5 seconds later, the power returned and Ethan's laptop had rebooted on its own, directly into seer.exe. He didn't even touch anything. From then on, I noticed the game launching itself. Sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night and see flickering light from under his door. He told me he never closed the game now. Said, it doesn't like that. The hallway changed. He said the doors were opening, but not in the game, in his dreams. He saw people inside the rooms, people with no eyes, people who whispered his name. I thought he was losing it. But then, on the 13th night, I woke up to loud banging. Ethan was screaming. I ran to his room, but the door was locked. When I finally got it open, he was shaking violently, eyes wide open, whispering, "They're here, they're inside." The laptop screen showed the hallway, but this time the camera wasn't from his perspective. It was like a third-person view, watching someone walk down the corridor. That someone was wearing Ethan's hoodie. I swear to God, I called out his name and the figure on screen stopped walking. Then the voice said, "Player 1 has ascended," and the screen cut to black. Ethan was gone. His phone was on the bed, his wallet, even his keys. The door was locked from the inside, no sign of forced entry, no sound of someone leaving. It was like he just evaporated. The cops came, treated it like a runaway case, but his laptop, completely clean. No trace of the game, no file, no record. His entire browser history was wiped. I tried to find the website again, but it's gone. The link doesn't work. Not cached, not archived, nowhere. For days, I kept hearing things at night, whispers through the vents, flickers in the hallway. My dreams turned into endless loops of that corridor. And then, last night, my own laptop powered on by itself. The screen showed one line of text. Player 2 initiated. I tried deleting the file. It wasn't there. I tried factory resetting my system. Everything went black. When it returned, seer.exe was already running. Now I hear the footsteps. Every night they get closer. If you see a download link labeled seer.exe, don't click it. Don't even visit the site, because once you play, it plays you back. I've always been a night owl. Coding, gaming, watching horror videos at 2 a.m. It's kind of my thing. But last week, something changed. Something I still can't explain. It started when I noticed a shortcut on my desktop that I didn't put there. It was 3:33 a.m. exactly. I remember because my second monitor had just glitched out and flashed that time, white on black like it was burned into the screen. The shortcut was titled wake.exe. No icon, no details, just there. I thought maybe it was a prank or malware, but curiosity won. I scanned it, nothing flagged. So like an idiot, I clicked. The screen went black and a phrase appeared. "Welcome back. We've missed you." Then the screen blinked and my webcam light came on. That freaked me out immediately. I yanked a sticker over it. The game booted up, if you can even call it that. The graphics were rough, pixelated. I was in a room, my room, the same layout, same posters, same messy bed, but twisted. The walls were gray, cracked like old concrete, no windows. The screen flickered like it was struggling to render something, and in the middle of the room was a chair, facing away from the screen. As I moved my character closer, the figure in the chair turned its head slightly. I couldn't see its face, just the back of its head, but the text at the bottom of the screen said, "Don't look behind you." My blood ran cold. I froze, waited. Nothing happened. I laughed nervously and turned the character around. The screen glitched for a second. Then the room was empty, totally empty. Even the chair was gone. I closed the game, or tried to. The window wouldn't respond. Ctrl+Alt+Del didn't work either. Then my speakers let out this distorted voice, garbled, metallic, but one word was clear. "Repeat," and the game started over. But this time it was different. The room was my actual room. down to the clothes on my floor, the can of soda I'd just opened, my exact wallpaper on the monitor. Only now the figure in the chair was facing the screen, and it was me. It looked exactly like me, same hoodie, same posture, but the face was wrong. Like someone had tried to recreate me from memory and got 90% right. The eyes were too wide. The mouth didn't move when I did. The text read, "We learn fast. Let's try again." The game kept restarting every time I tried to exit. By the fifth loop, the figure on screen started moving without me touching anything. It stared at me through the monitor. I swear its head tilted just like mine did when I leaned in. Then it spoke, out loud, with my voice. "You lied to her. You said it wasn't your fault. She screamed for help, but you just stood there." I felt sick. This wasn't random, it was digging, using things I'd buried. When I was 15, my sister drowned while we were swimming at a lake. I froze. I panicked. I didn't move. I told everyone I couldn't reach her in time. Only I know the truth. I don't know how this thing knew, but it did. The seventh loop was the worst. There was no more game, just a live video feed of me sitting at my desk. But I wasn't moving. On the screen, my reflection blinked after I did. Then the voice came back. "You're not ready to wake up, but you will be soon." The game finally crashed after that. Or, I thought it did, until I went to bed. At 3:33 a.m., my speakers crackled back on. No visuals this time, just audio. Breathing. Then, wake.exe has been updated. I checked my desktop. Nothing. But when I turned around to leave the room, my chair was spinning. I hadn't moved it. Last night, I unplugged everything. No power, no Wi-Fi. Took the battery out of my laptop. I still woke up at 3:33 a.m. My phone, which was off, lit up with a single message. "Ready for player 3? I didn't reply. I couldn't. I left the house that day. Took my gear, went to a friend's place, stayed up all night just talking about normal stuff, movies, school, memories. Anything to stay grounded, no weird messages, no wake.exe. I thought maybe it stopped. But the next morning when I went back home, something felt off. The air in my room was thick, like the windows hadn't been opened in weeks. My chair was turned again, facing the door this time. My desktop background had changed to pure black, and on it in red blocky letters, "Though she's awake too." I deleted everything, ran 5 different malware scans, reinstalled Windows from scratch, didn't matter. The shortcut came back that night. Same time, 3:33 a.m., except this time it was called herturn.exe. I didn't open it, I swear I didn't. But it opened on its own. There was no loading screen this time, just static. Then a new scene, not my room. Her room, my sister's. From when we were kids, every detail matched. The glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling, the cracked unicorn lamp, even the tiny rip on the bedsheet corner where she used to pick at the fabric when she was scared. Only she was in it, lying in bed, eyes open, staring at the ceiling, unblinking. I couldn't move the character, I couldn't exit. A new message appeared. "Now you see. Now you stay." The screen flickered and suddenly I was outside the house. Looking in through the bedroom window, she was still there. But something was sitting next to her. A tall, shadowy figure, no face. Its head bent in a way no humans should. Long fingers slowly stroking her hair. And then, in a voice that was half static, half whisper, "She's still drowning. Over and over, and you keep watching." I blacked out. Literally, my body just gave out. I woke up hours later on the floor, bleeding from my nose. The shortcut was gone, but the message remained burned into the background of my desktop like dead pixels. One more lie and we'll come through. I tried to forget. Really, I did. I didn't sleep for 48 hours, but eventually exhaustion won, and I dreamed. It It wasn't a dream. It was the game. The chair again. Only this time someone else was sitting in it. My best friend, Ethan. We've known each other since 5th grade. He was the only person I ever told the full truth about what happened that day at the lake. In the dream, he looked up at me and said, "You invited it, Jack. You press start. It's your turn again." When I woke up, I called Ethan. No answer. I texted, emailed, nothing. After 12 hours of silence, I drove to his apartment. Empty. The landlord said he packed up and left 3 days ago. He didn't tell anyone. Didn't leave a note. He was just gone. I still have the voicemail he left me before it happened. It's all static, except one clear sentence. "Don't let it in, even if it wears her face." I don't know what that means. I've moved twice since then. Got a new computer, changed my number. I haven't played a single game in months. But last night, 3:33 a.m., my phone buzzed. No number, no contact name, just one text. Wake.exe has been shared. I've always considered myself a skeptic. Sure, I love creepy stories, Reddit horror threads, cursed video compilations at 2 a.m., but I never really believed in any of it. That is, until it happened to someone I knew. Someone close. His name was Alex. We met in our first year at university, both studying computer science, both introverted as hell, both obsessed with anything remotely creepy or weird on the internet. We clicked instantly. I'd hang out at his apartment almost every week. He lived alone, which was rare for someone our age. His mom lived in another city, Novosibirsk. His dad, long gone. So it was just him, a tiny one-bedroom place and a glowing monitor that never seemed to turn off. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed something was off. Alex started acting strange. He looked sleep-deprived, with dark circles under his eyes. He barely spoke, and when he did, his words were slow, distracted. He started canceling our game nights, saying he was working on something. When I asked what, he'd either shrug or go silent. Then one evening, completely out of the blue, he texted me, "You need to try it too." No context, no explanation. I called him, no answer. He replied with another message, "Just come over, I'll show you." So I went. His apartment was darker than usual, curtains shut tight, lights dimmed. The only glow came from his dual monitors. One was off. The other showed a black screen with a single word blinking in blood-red text. Initiating. Alex sat at his desk, motionless. When I called his name, he flinched like I'd yanked him out of a trance. "You came," he said, smiling. But it wasn't a normal smile. It was forced, stiff. "What the hell is this?" I asked, nodding at the screen. He turned toward it. "It's not just a game, it's something else, you'll see." I sat on the edge of his bed while he clicked a few keys. The screen shifted, revealing what looked like an old, lo-fi pixel game. The graphics were crude, borderline retro. But what caught my attention was the layout of the in-game room. It was his apartment, down to the placement of the furniture, the posters, the pile of laundry in the corner. "Is this... you made this?" He shook his head. "Number I found it. It found me." I laughed nervously, thinking he was messing with me. "What's the goal?" "There isn't one." Then his character on the screen moved, not by keyboard or mouse. It just moved, walked toward the in-game bedroom. The door opened slowly. Inside was a figure, standing completely still. Black silhouette, no face. And then the screen flickered and the figure turned toward us. I stood up. "Dude, what the hell is this?" He looked up at me. "It's part of it. It knows who's watching." I left. Told him he needed to sleep, that this was getting to him. He didn't argue, just stared at the screen as I walked out. That was the last time I saw him. 2 days passed, no messages, no calls. I started to worry, so I went back to his place. His door was locked, but the lights were on inside. I could see the flickering glow of his monitor through the cracks in the blinds. I called his name. No answer. Then I noticed something. His phone was on the floor just inside the door. I called again, heard the buzz of the ringtone inside the apartment. Chills. I called the police. They broke the door down. The apartment was empty. No signs of struggle, no blood, nothing missing. Just an open laptop, a powered-on monitor, and the game, still running. The screen showed the in-game room, empty, except for one thing, a figure sitting at the desk, back turned, same hoodie Alex always wore, and underneath in red text, "Player 2 has disconnected." They never found him. His mother flew in devastated, said she hadn't spoken to him in over a week before he vanished. His laptop was taken in for analysis. There was no trace of the game, nothing called initiating, no logs, no install files. It was as if it never existed. But the weirdest part? When I got home, my computer was on. I never leave it on. And in the center of my desktop was a new shortcut. No name, no icon. Just a timestamp beneath it, 3:33 a.m. Before you go, smash that like button and hit subscribe if you made it through all 3 stories. It helps the channel more than you think, and it just might keep the curse away. Now, if you start seeing glitches, if you hear breathing when you're alone, if you wake up at 3:33 a.m. with your screen already on, remember you were warned. I'm Disturbing Jack, and these were true Reddit stories about cursed games you should never play. Until then, sleep tight, and whatever you do, don't click anything you didn't download.